Well, hello, Fists of Fucking Freedom. Kind of interesting YouTube handle name there. um, so you gave me kind of a tall order here. Basically, justify the state, right? It's kind of a big thing for a 10-minute YouTube video, but I'll do the best I can here, right? Let me just summarize by saying I guess I adopted broadly Rawlsian kind of picture for what the state should be. I have a little bit of problems with his veil of ignorance and all this other kind of stuff, but I think that's if I were going to try to do it, I think that's a good way to begin. As a point of departure, though, what really brought this on was my claim that the state was a solution to the prisoner's dilemma problem, right? Now, to briefly rehearse the prisoner's dilemma, actually, let me present the prisoner's dilemma as an alternate problem, right? For example, say Iraq under Saddam Hussein, right? Classic prisoner's dilemma solution, right? It's much better if for everybody in the country if they got rid of Saddam Hussein, if they would all just have stopped obeying Saddam Hussein's orders, Saddam Hussein would be out the next day, right? But the problem is if only 10% of the population of Iraq would stop obeying his orders, right? For example, the Kurds, they would just get slaughtered by the other 90%, right? So it's a classic dilemma, right? They're just trapped in this lower state because it's like if only some of them rebel, they'll get slaughtered. But conversely, if 90% of them would rebel, the other 10% would come along as free riders, right? So, really, that's why oppressive governments exist anywhere, right? And I would claim that this is really, if libertarians had a solution to this problem, if libertarians had a solution to the prisoner's dilemma, there wouldn't be any non-libertarian place anywhere on the planet, right? So the general libertarian argument goes something like this, right? For example, a libertarian argument for privatized healthcare goes something like this, right? Well, it's obvious that it's better for people to pool together and buy health insurance because, if you buy health insurance, it's much more, you limit your risks to yourself, right? So it's obviously a good idea for us to cooperate on health insurance. Since it's an obvious idea for us to cooperate on health insurance, it's easy to persuade people to buy into health insurance. And with lots of health insurance agencies, the competition will drive the cost down until it'll be affordable for everybody, yada yada, right? So basically, libertarians will argue that there is no prisoner's dilemma problem because it's obvious to persuade people what the right thing to do is, and people will obviously just go along with the flow, right? But I mean, if this were really the case, then why was there a Saddam Hussein, right? Why was there why is there Kim Jong Il, for example, right? Um, it's easy enough to persuade people that something is good for them or right for them, but it's really hard because what people don't have is people don't have the assurance that if they step out, that everybody else is going to back them, right? That's the hard problem, and libertarians really don't have a solution to this. So, um, you know, you can't really make the jump from that to saying, okay, this justifies the existence of a state, right? Because like you said, it's like the state can be misused or abused any of 16 different ways, right? I mean, it doesn't justify the existence of Saddam Hussein that there is a prisoner's dilemma problem, right? It doesn't justify the existence of a Kim Jong Il that there is a prisoner's dilemma problem, right? But nevertheless, we can't ignore the problem. The problem of the prisoner's dilemma is it's a real problem, and it really is holding us back in many different ways. Like for example, air pollution. Let me just see if I have one. Yeah, I live in California, man. They've done autopsies of people who died in California. I have to take this inhalers and all this kind of crap. Our air is basically unbreathable here. Okay, it's like 24% of people who have their lung autopsies. I mean, they found they have serious, life changing uh, problems with their lungs because of the bad pollution here, right? So I personally, I mean, what if I wanted to fight against this? I could buy an electric car, right? I could spend $100,000, buy one of these new Tesla Roadsters that's there. But unless everybody else in California does it, I mean, it's not going to help me out at all. Theirs is going to be equally as dirty, right? This is real problems. This is a real, genuine problem that's here, right? And I mean, the libertarian solution would just say, okay, yeah, great. Everybody in California has, realizes that the air pollution is a problem. So why don't we just all, do the right thing? I mean, well, point of fact, we're not all doing the right thing, right? So that's the thing. So it's not really a justification of the state that I'm offering here, but what I'm saying is this is the only mechanism that we have evolved which gives a solution to the problem. Okay, we don't have any other we don't have any other alternatives on the table, right? So it's kind of like asking what's the justification for chemotherapy for curing cancer, right? I mean, if we could cure cancer by making giving everybody an ice cream cone, it'd be one thing. But we don't have any other alternatives besides chemotherapy and radiation therapy to cure cancer. So it's what we use, right? And sometimes there's bad side effects, and sometimes it doesn't go the way that we want it to go. Sometimes all this kind of stuff, right? But it's the only thing we have. It's the only thing we have on the table, right? So I would be interested in having alternate solutions. I mean, if you could come up with some other solution to this, then uh, which was more palatable than the state, then we could use it, right? So I do agree that way. So that would be the case. So I would really as evidence that we don't have a solution for this, I would give the existence of oppressive governments. Since we have oppressive governments, we do not have a solution to this problem here, right? So any rate, that's basically my thoughts on it. Thanks a lot.